In this video, we will be looking at social welfare policy in the 19th century, specifically between 1789 and 1902, and what types of social policies were going on. There were three types of social policies that were focused on in this time period, and we will go through each one of those. The three are temperance, anti-pauperism, and opportunity-enhancing policies. So temperance was basically the idea that Americans believed certain sinful, morally wrong behaviors were the focus of what was wrong with their country, alcohol being the most prominent focus of the temperance policies. Alcohol had been a very important selling factor in the economy up until this point. And then they basically saw an influx of people who were alcoholic, drinking all the time. And so this immoral behavior was what they thought was the culprit for many of the other behaviors. So many of the behaviors that were associated with alcohol were basically feared by the other Americans. And so they tried to shut down taverns, restrict license to them. They would tax the alcohol heavily. They would try to reform and talk to politicians about legislation and laws. So anti-pauperism was basically this idea that they could control the poor, the poverty situation in America by certain things that they were trying. Basically, they tried to do workhouses or almshouses. They tried to contact with low-income youth to try to prevent these things. They also tried to establish like a system of surveillance so that the charity or the care being given to these people was not being abused. I think reformers quickly realized that these ideas were not going to work out because the workhouses were in such poor conditions and such terrible setups for people who are going through that type of poverty. They basically saw mental illness, alcoholism, disabled, elderly. The opportunity enhancing policies were basically enhancing the opportunity of white males by granting them the right to vote. And also they came up with policies to control, regulate, and oppress people of color, specifically African Americans, Spanish-speaking people, and Asian. There was also an oppression of women at that time, and I think that was for enhancing the opportunity, again, of white males being able to own land and vote.